Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Grown Ups, the podcast. Ellie, we started this call and you were like, I want to set the world on fire. Tell us, what's going on?
Guys, not in a good way. I swear. This week, honestly, I've had the highlights of my year and I've had the literal second worst day of the year. Do you know you just can't catch a break?
Yes.
It's been one of those weeks, guys. Monday was stressful because you know when you take things from Friday into Monday,
Oh, every week, yeah.
that should not have been taken into Monday. Then I had to work late. I had clients calling me left, right, and center, asking me for things that weren't ready. I was like, compose yourself. Tuesday was a bit better. I started taking things off. Wednesday, best day of the year. I ticked so much. I practically cleared my to-do list.
Yeah, I
Apart from
remember.
things, sis, I was over the moon. It was like I'd cleared my to-do list, bar the things that, you send out the email and you're like, well, they haven't come back to me yet, so that's clear.
Yeah.
It was one of those. Can you hear the dog?
Yeah, I can, but that's okay.
Guys.
Ellie's dog sitting. Is it dog sitting or is it trial?
No, it's dog sitting. So guys, I'll let me finish this and then I'll announce. No, then Thursday, I was living. I was like to my manager, what can I help you with?
Fuck.
What can I
Girl.
help you with, sweetheart? You tell me. What do you need? Because I'm a free agent.
Wow.
And then he gave me some stuff. I was like, I'll get cracking on this. This is easy. No, actually, Thursday was fantastic. Then we went out for lunch and just didn't return to the office. It was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Like my kind of day. You work overtime, but you get that shit back.
Yeah.
And then Friday, so Thursday, because we were out of the office, everyone decided to come back on my emails that I'd sent, that I thought I cleared. So Friday morning, I was like, let me sleep at my mum's house. I like to sleep there like once a month, get some mummy-daughter time. And woke up Friday morning. I was like, right, I haven't replied to those emails from yesterday because I was out. I said, let me wake up really early, wake up at 6 o'clock. I'll chill in bed for a bit, just, unwind. And then I'll get a cracking at 7. Hit 7 o'clock. I'm like setting up my laptop. Forgot my laptop charger. In Essex. I'm in London. Like, there's no way to go back and get the laptop charger.
The day has started on a terrible tone.
Mate, I was like, Mum, I'm going to have to go into the office. She was like, oh, Ellie. She's like, no, do you know what? I'll drive to Curry's and get you a laptop charger.
Bless her.
Godsend. I was like, no, you can't be doing that. She's like, no. I will go, they open at 9. Your laptop will last till then. I'll go and get your laptop charger. I'm like, all right then. So I start cracking on with my work. Tell me why I'm getting that blue circle. Guys, for those of you, I don't know if this is on every laptop. I think it looks a little bit different on Macs. Yeah. But I've got a Lenovo and it was going round and round and nothing was moving. My documents were not closing. They were not opening. Nothing was moving. I said, do you know what will save this? Cheeky on and off. Turn the laptop on and off. No, nothing. Anyway, I cut to the chase, guys. I went into the office. Had no makeup at my mum's house, by the way, because I didn't intend to go into it. Went in looking like this. My hair was like this. I said, okay. Luckily I had fresh top at my mum's house. Had to wear the same trousers from the day before. I said, oh well. And then I went in, spent 2.5 hours with IT. And I went through 2 laptops in that time. They gave me one, didn't work, gave me another one. I said, do you know what? I had clients calling me. I said, look, I'm not giving you excuses. But I was out of the office yesterday afternoon when you sent that email, and this morning I've had IT issues.
Yeah.
And it sounded so fake.
No, but what are the chances?
Oh, mate, it was so stressful. And then, yeah, we're dog sitting. So I had to go back to my mum's house, collect my family dog because she's going to Liverpool for the weekend and she lives alone. So we were like, oh, we need to take the dog. And we brought him to our house. But so far, so good. We put a little doggy gate on so he can't get in our living room because I don't want him to mess up my sofa.
Yeah.
But he's chilling in the kitchen. Towels are safe.
Yes.
So, yeah.
My God, no. When you were messaging me this morning, I was like, that is actually a nightmare because you woke up early so you could get ahead of your emails and then you had to go into the office and then you got 2 laptops that were broken. Like, what the hell?
It was
the hell
up there with one of the worst days. The IT guy was so cute. He was like, a lot of people would be very annoyed right now. And I just laughed. I was like, do you know what? There's nothing I can do about it. There's no point me getting angry at you. Yes, I'm angry at the world.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be angry at you. It's not your fault. Turns out it was his fault.
Was it?
They put software on the computer. They like upgraded the computer past its capacity.
Oh.
And that's why it crashed. Yeah. And the second laptop they gave me, they also upgraded the software past its capacity. Hence why it also crashed.
Oh no. That's
so now I've got one
jarring.
of the old laptops, which is not going to last long because it's old. Like it's an inferior spec.
Yeah.
Guys, for those of you who aren't corporate, this is so boring. But I swear, when your IT crashes in the corporate world, it's literally like someone handing you your resignation. It's the worst thing in the world.
Listen, I like
handing you your resignation, handing you you're fired.
And then you're fired. No, yeah, laptop issues are so annoying. My biggest fear is that it will happen to me when I'm abroad, and then I'm screwed. Yeah. No, literally.
Never ever say that again. Don't speak those words into existence. God forbid. Please, Lord, take care of Maggie's laptop and Maggie.
Touching wood, like.
Yeah,
please.
Where's the wood? Oh man, but yeah, that was me. How are you, my dear? Because you also had a crazy week.
I had a really busy week, and I'm like, oh my God, how are we at Friday already? I'm flying out tomorrow to go to Vietnam for work, and I haven't started packing. It's 9 p.m. I leave tomorrow.
And yet she's still making time for us, guys.
Oh, so no. But this is therapy. Like, I need this. It's not for y'all. It's for me.
Me and you both, sis. Woo.
No, but honestly, I'm so good at packing now. It will take me not long at all. But I had my university lecture this week.
Oh my gosh, of course. This is the one you spoke about last week and you're thinking about whether to do a quiz or not. Tell us all about it, my dear.
Yes. So it was really nice. I was so nervous because I was like, these are actual master's students. So they can be any age, but likely grown. But likely they're reading a lot, and so they're very knowledgeable, and so they might grill me. And so I was a bit nervous because I remember when because you know me, I will put my hand up and ask any question. Like I'm so eager.
Girl, and look where it's got you. That is the best way to be.
No, yeah, but it was like a real full circle moment because I got this job because someone came into my master's to give a lecture, and then I was doing the same. But no, it went well. I fucking spilt coffee on myself. Like, I don't even drink coffee, but the professor got me coffee, and there was like, I think I was like fiddling with the cup, and I caused a tear in it. So when I drank it spilt down my chin, down my fucking silk blouse.
Was it evident?
Luckily, it's so funny because I was gonna wear a different shirt that day, but luckily I was wearing a navy blue shirt, so it was dark. But anyways. But no, it went well. Like everything was fine. They engaged, they asked lots of questions that I could answer. And where I couldn't answer. Nice. No, for real.
The worst thing is when you're standing up there and no one has questions and you're like,
I would die. No, literally, because I don't have enough slides. So please talk. But yeah, where I didn't know the answer, I'd be like, oh, I'll be honest, I don't know. Like my background is environmental, not finance. And then the professor would step in and she'd be like, oh, like what we see is blah, blah. But what was the best thing about it is, well, one, at the end of the lecture, people came up and like asked me for my email, my LinkedIn and stuff. And like one of them's messaged. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that's good. And then secondly, the professor was like, oh, like, let me take you for lunch. So we went for lunch. Yeah, we went for lunch, and I was asking her like, oh, how did you get into teaching at university level? And she was like, this is actually not my full-time job. She's a CEO, honey. She's a CEO. And
say what?
She does this on the side.
Guys, I work a cheeky 9 till 5:30 with a little bit of overtime on top, and look at me. How?
No, honestly, like I was like, oh my God. And it all started to make sense because she gave off bad bitch and like she was dressed in a certain way. I was like, I knew you weren't just a professor. Like I just knew it. But she was so nice, and she was like giving me loads of advice and talking about, being a woman and being a woman in this industry and being a woman leader as a CEO and what that experience is like. So it was just
Wow.
really, yeah, it was really inspiring. Like I just left feeling so inspired. It was just so nice. And then she was like, I had to go into the office after, and she was like, "Oh, uh don't get a bus, like get an Uber, like everything's covered today." And I was like, "Oh, it's fine, like it's not far." And she was like, "Get an Uber X, like do whatever you need to do." So I got a bus there because I was literally so local, like there was no point. But I did get an Uber home, which from
Why
Central
not,
to
darling?
Croydon, that was a win. So yeah,
Oh,
it's really nice.
oh my God. I'm actually so glad you had a good time. But that's elite. You now have another connection in the industry, someone who's supportive, like could be a mentor. Smashed it. That's so good.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I was like, I left and the sun was shining as well in London. I was just had this spring in my step. Like,
I actually love it. What day was that of the week?
that was Tuesday.
Like the worst day of the week. How good. Actually, Mondays are officially the worst day. That's so nice.
No, it was nice. And then but then the problem is I've been into the office twice this week, and it's meant that I haven't done anywhere near as much as I should have done. Like one day I did fuck all. And it wasn't like I was like I was just talking to my colleagues and
I
like
that.
meetings and all of the, like it did fuck
I
all.
must
Sorry.
admit, I do love a cheeky office chit chat though. It like really lifts
But
my spirits.
but not when I have a trip on Saturday that I need to prepare for. Like, am I a joke? Am I a joke?
Yeah,
Like
it's
when
stressful.
I should be feeling anxiety because at least anxiety got me to do my work. But now I'm not feeling it.
It will come, honey. It comes in peaks and troughs, but troughs, whatever. Um, I know you got this, and I feel like you know you got this. The more you do it, like these trips abroad, presenting it, etc., you're like, oh, just another part of the day job.
Yeah, I hope so. I certainly hope so. But yeah, I'll let you know how that ends up going. But that was
You're,
my week.
you're gonna smash it without a doubt. I love that. I feel like
Thank
your
you.
week was actually very positive. Mine was obviously you have a shitload of work,
Yeah,
but
I feel like personally it was like quite good, but like just work wise, I should have done 10 times more than what I did. But it is
yeah.
what it is.
Don't worry, you and me both. But anyways, let's step into our favourite part of our episode. In this week's episode of Being a Dumb Bitch. Let's see what mistakes y'all were making this week. Because
Mm,
best believe I made plenty.
mm.
Okay. In this week's episode of Being a Dumb Bitch. Oh, this person's speaking my language. I had one of those weeks where you just cannot catch a break. And as a mother, oh, yeah, you really can't catch a break. As, I'm
But
a
never
dog mum
mind.
for this weekend and I'm dying.
Yeah.
Right. As a mother, if I want to work my evenings, I have to multitask. Anyway, cut a long story short, I called a client after working hours and they didn't pick up. So I left my apologies for a piece of work being late. I could have written this, but forgot to hang up. So they had about 5 minutes of me playing choo choo train with my 2-year-old to get her to eat.
Oh my God.
So embarrassing. Had to send yet another round of apologies the next day.
Wait, why didn't the other person hang up?
It was a voicemail.
Oh, lol. Fucking hell. No.
That's actually bad. I've had so many horror stories where I'm like, not, I've never let a voicemail hang on. I'm not gonna lie, I'm too far over that. But do you know when you just slip up on a voicemail and I'm like, I don't know how to delete it, and then I'm trying to delete it and it just goes silent and it goes on for a bit longer and I'm like, just delete it. They've got it now.
No, I do that with doctor's appointments. There's one that literally sprung to mind where it went to voicemail and I was like, please contact me on, and I don't know, I was just stuttering and then I started laughing. So I'm like bare creasing and I'm like, oh seven. It was just a mess. Like whoever listened to that was like, bloody hell, like what's going on?
That probably made their day. To be fair, that's
I hope
quite
so.
funny. Yeah, man, it happens to the best of us, honestly. Client calls are not the one when they're not planned. Like, do you know, when you just have to pick up the mobile and have a chat. It's still not one of my favorite things to do.
No, but see, I don't know that because my clients
Oh,
can't call me because they're in Asia. They're not going to call me. They're going to, like, they might text. Only some of them have my WhatsApp,
yeah.
but they wouldn't just call me because it's not that thing.
Mate, that's how you need it to be. People call me all the time, and I don't pick up if their number's not saved.
Yeah, good.
They could ask me anything about. I work on multiple projects at one time. They could literally be like, "So, what did you put on this?" And
Mm.
my mind will just go blank. Absolutely not. Someone called me today, and I hadn't spoke to him in months. I did one job for him when I first started, and he called me and he's like, "Oh, look at bear in mind, it's like 5 o'clock. I'm trying to head home. I'm in the
Mm.
office on a Friday," and he's like, "Oh, I just need your opinion on this. I'm looking at something here," and I'm thinking, "Oh no, I gotta get my thinking brain on. Where is he? What is he doing? Like, let me get my notes up."
No, please, nothing unprovoked. Please.
Yeah, luckily I survived. And I was in line with what he thought. So I was like, oh, the Lord was with me.
Amen. But we don't have work phones, so that wouldn't happen to us anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine someone calling me on my personal.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely not.
So it's not like custom for people to give out their numbers. It's only in like certain situations.
No, that makes sense. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Should we crack on with our dilemma and then do our pot?
Okay. The dilemma this week. It says, "Girls, am I a terrible person? I've had a new colleague join my team about a month ago and we get on so well. She's the perfect fit for the team culturally, but doesn't seem to be naturally easing into the work. Because we get on so well, she confides in me and tells me that she's worried about her performance, that she's
Oh, bless.
struggling, etc. Yeah, I know. And that she doesn't know what to do. I keep telling her not to worry, that she's only been here a month, and just generally try to put her at ease. But deep down, I can see my manager's getting frustrated and potentially starting to regret his decision bringing her in.
That is so peak.
It's also meant my manager is singing my praises more. So by her looking worse, I'm starting to look even better. A win is a win." Let me just say that.
I'm not sure how I feel about.
I don't want this. And
Yes.
it's made me feel like a total bitch. Am I a horrible person for not telling her? What would you do?
I don't think you're a horrible person because, from my own experience, I know that when I make one mistake, if everyone was like to me, you made that mistake, you need to do better now, that would freak me out, and that would make me make more mistakes. I'm assuming she's making mistakes if she's not picking it up easily, or she's asking a lot of repeat questions. So I actually think having supportive people in my life, in my career, is the thing that's willed me to continue despite the fact that I constantly do make mistakes. So I
Yeah.
actually think you're doing the right thing, because what is you telling her or him, her or him, that they're not doing well, gonna do? It's just gonna make them feel worse. All you can do is be supportive, be nice, and like if your manager's saying, "Oh, they're not doing well," ratatata, all you can say is, "No, I think they just need a bit more time," and like try and help them, try and put things in place. But I don't think you're doing it wrong. Me personally, I wouldn't tell them. Would you?
It's not my business. Like
Yeah.
I'm not the manager. I'm not the one that needs to give you feedback. Like if this is your colleague, if maybe I see an opportunity, like I don't know, I'm trying to think how this would happen in my role, but let's say they are drafting slides and it's just not that well designed. I'd be like, "Oh, do you want to use this template that I always use? Like it might make it easier." Or just like I'd hint little things to help them, but like as if I'm helping them, not criticizing them, because it's not your place. You're not their
Yeah.
manager. That's the manager's job.
I 110% agree. And like if you're getting credit off the back of it, it's not nice because you don't want credit that way. Like you just want to shine in your own because you shine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is be super supportive, and what's meant to be is meant to be. If it's not the right place for them, then it's not the right place for them. But I don't think you're a bitch.
Agreed.
Love that though. Glad you're succeeding in your career and your path, honey. This actually did inspire our poll in some way, shape, or form. And basically it got us thinking, do you see your colleagues as competition or not? Like in the workplace, in this instance, the person was getting praise because their colleagues not doing so well. So to you, are your colleagues in your way, or are you there to help each other climb higher?
Great question.
Tell me your opinion before we look at the poll. Have you looked at the poll?
No, I haven't.
Okay, go on.
Personally, ain't nobody in my way. Okay.
Preach it.
I work with such intelligent, capable individuals, but I
What
am
lovely words.
but I am a very motivated individual. And so where other people might be smarter than me and more capable than me, I'm cockier. And so I don't feel in competition with them. If anything, like I want to see you shine. Like I want to see you do amazing. Like we're a team at the end of the day. Like if you're doing amazing, the team's doing amazing, everyone's doing amazing. Yeah. So I literally don't see any of them as competition. Like I literally see them as colleagues. But maybe that's because that I haven't there's no one that's got my personality. Like if you get another really ambitious girl on my team who who's the same role as me, because everyone that's like the same role as me is a male and a bit older. Get another bitch like me, my age, who's ambitious. I wonder how I'll feel. Will I still feel the same? I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that like we could be like a power duo, but I don't know. I haven't faced that, so I don't know what that would look like.
I think this is such an interesting topic. Also, the fact that you were just talking about your colleagues being males and you having another female who's exactly the same as you. Guys, we're definitely going to do an episode on like working with females, having female managers versus working with males and having male managers. Because I just think that is so fascinating. And my experience is completely flipped on its head. So I worked in a team of all males, mostly throughout my graduate scheme. And now I'm on a team of like 3 females and 2 males. So it's more balanced. But it just feels completely different. And I actually love it. It's well nice. But I think you hit the nail on the head in that we all have different personalities. None of us are the same. And none of us have the same skill set. So there's no way we could be in competition because I don't want to do their work. I don't want to do the work that they do, and they don't want to do the work that I do, because people find the work that I do really long and complex, and I find the work that they do too fast-paced.
Right.
So it's like, would it be different if someone had my exact skill set and there wasn't enough work to go around and I wasn't able to shine? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's where like the context is really important, because I have people in my team that do the exact same job as me but working on different projects, but there's enough projects to go around. In fact, we have too many projects that everyone is like, it's got so many things going on all at the same time. So but I wonder if it would be different if that wasn't the case and we had to like pitch for projects or something. I don't know. That like, I'd like to think not. Yeah. But then I'm also like, am I so confident and do I feel so secure because my environment enables me to feel confident and secure? Mm-hmm. I'm not in a like big 4 company, for example, where like people are really out
hungry.
And like hungry, like like
famished.
I'm not famished. Starved.
The desperation.
I'm not in that environment. Like it's so I don't know. It would be good to listen to this when we're in different contexts. Well, hopefully I'm never in that context. That sounds awful.
Yeah, I couldn't hack it. The one thing I love about work is actually my company culture. Like I went to work today, there were just such nice colleagues in. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not that upset about being here. I'm upset, but I'm not that upset. Like it was nice to just have a little chin wag, chit chat.
Yeah.
But guys, I must admit, so one of my colleagues recently left or is in the process of leaving. And I did say to Maggie, I was like, never ever have I seen him as competition because we don't work on the same stuff. But I was like, really and truly, that is more money in my pocket because bonuses will be bigger because he's not having his.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And secondly, he was technically, so my firm is like, it's very corporate in the sense that if there's too many people at the top, they won't promote you, even if you deserve it.
Right.
Because they can't have a top-heavy team. It needs to be balanced, unless it works for that team, etc. So there could come a time, if we had the same skill set, where it was like, one of you's going to get promotion over the other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have different skill sets. So I feel like, if I'm being honest, there are situations when there might be a little bit of tension.
Yeah.
But as you say, never me, because please.
No, exactly.
Let's see what the people said. Well, do you think more people said hell yes, or more people said not at all?
I feel like, well, it would be good to get an understanding of what industries people work in, because I feel like if you're like in healthcare, unless you're at the consultancy level, if you're like a nurse or something, is there competition? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So I would say probably people said no.
You were correct. Only 14% said hell yes.
Because I feel like those people are few and far between.
Do you know what? Yeah, thinking about it, I'm actually not surprised. Imagine being in a place where you're literally competing on a daily. Sorry, I didn't even do competitive sports when I was little. I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
I was not made that way. God knows I am not strong enough. So yeah, if you're in that environment, do you know what? Partially good for you, because you have to be strong-willed to hack that.
Yeah.
But equally, it's not every day. And then 86% of people, I can't speak, said no, not at all.
Okay.
And a few people sent in just a little bit about like their opinion on why, because obviously, as we say, it's very circumstantial. It depends where you're at in life, what role you have, etc. So do you wanna start us off with one, my dear?
Okay, so someone said, been in teams where I would say hell yes and not at all. If you're in a top heavy team and going for a promotion at the same time as a load of other people on your level, then yes, in theory, they're your competition. But equally, if you're working in a team, you're all a reflection of each other and you want your team to win and to win work, to be perceived as the best. But to do that, you all need to work together, not compete, which is how I feel. Like,
Yeah, same.
in my mind, like if my colleague is having excellent outputs, it means that we can get more projects, and so that's a win for us all. And then I can learn by osmosis the whatever he's done, because I can see the output and I can ask him questions of how he's done it, for example. So it's not a competition, baby.
Yeah, I agree. My industry is so like, there's a top maybe 5 that you'll get, that people will go to for the work that we do. And it's like, if my colleagues are not shining, they're not going to pick us.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we all need to do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 110%. Someone else said, I think management, I agree, yeah, and company culture have a massive role to play in this. My first job out of uni, my manager would always pit the team against each other, bitching about each of us to someone else, asking us to review other people's work and pick out the mistakes. It was super toxic.
That's so humiliating.
That is, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could scan through a colleague's work and be like, you made a mistake here and here. Oh my God. Do you remember the time? Guys, this was way back when I was a graduate. Wow, this has brought back memories. Make you and I used to like,
oh my God. You. I know exactly. I think I know what you're going to say, yeah.
Guys, my manager sent me a piece of work with another colleague. And I think he just wanted me to like review it, to understand and get better. He was like, oh, can you guys take a look at this? He was basically trying to make me feel included by saying, can you guys take a look at it? And I scanned it, picked out all of his grammar and spelling mistakes and sent it back and said, there you go.
Coming out like Grammarly.
That was bad.
The thing is, though, like, for someone like me who's self-conscious about their writing, that would actually be so helpful to me. But that's obviously not what the task at hand was.
No, luckily he was a lovely manager and he was like, thanks. But yeah, mate, from then they knew I was a different breed. Like, everyone's kind of come to terms with the fact that I'm just this weirdo, very pedantic, but yeah.
Someone said, you shouldn't need to compete. I've seen so many colleagues step on people to get to the top, and it doesn't reflect well. If you're good at your job, you should naturally be rewarded, and if not, move on. The thing is, yes and no, because I feel like me and you speak from very privileged positions where we have nice managers who like us and we're liked, right?
110%, yeah.
But I've worked in places, like even part-time jobs and stuff, where I've seen some of my colleagues are just not liked, and there's no reason. Like maybe like they got one wrong impression and now they hate them. And luckily for me, I've always been a favorite. But that's not the case for everyone.
Me too, mate. We were told yesterday who's doing our bonuses. For some reason this year it's not our team heads. It's the guy above them. And he wouldn't do bonuses based on his favourites. He's not like that. That's really irresponsible. You're actually a manager, like behave. But I get on really well with him. And I was like, oh, it's fine he's doing bonuses, like as a joke. And this girl was like, well, yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? I was like, I actually love her. We get on really well. Like, it was just tongue in cheek, but it did make me laugh.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, some people might not get because the other thing is that I went to this networking event on Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. And it was basically female leaders, and they were just giving advice. And they were saying that a lot of business is personality. 100%. And so if you happen to be someone who other people don't gel with, that could impact your career, which I think is fair and unfair. I don't know, because I do think personality matters. Yeah. And it does like cause project failure and project success. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it could literally be that. Yeah. You might be technically amazing, but you need the full package.
It is tough. As you say, I genuinely, like, I don't know who's watching over me, boy. And I don't know if at some point this is all going to come crashing down.
The pendulum.
I have been, God forbid, I am not strong enough. I'm telling you now.
I'm not strong enough. I promise. My whole self-worth is based on how well I'm doing at work. Please.
Me too. It's literally our personalities. But no. Yeah. Well, I don't even know what I was saying. Basically, thank you everyone for liking me. I'm really grateful. Please don't stop liking me. But yeah, no, it is peak. And I do think, yeah, you don't always get rewarded when you deserve it. But at the same time, I hear it. It's not black and white, like the statement makes it seem. But sometimes it is just time to move on. And also, if your personality ain't gelling where you are, that's not to say your personality won't gel somewhere else. Every company has a different culture. You will find the place that you fit in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Someone else said, they're my allies against the upper management team.
Whoa. Now that's some real talk right there.
See, I actually don't like that.
The thing is, it depends on company culture. Yeah. Because I have to say, like, I remember when I was at I had a job role where I wasn't getting paid very well at all. Mm-hmm. And me and all the analysts came together and wrote a letter to HR, and we were like fighting it, and like we were allying against senior management. And it meant that all of our pays got reviewed, and then they put in an infrastructure to make sure that things like that don't happen again. So I feel like it depends what you're doing.
I hear it to an extent. So when I first read this statement, it made me feel insecure, because I feel like I've been in situations like this, and actually people have called me to the side and said, watch what you're doing and who you're hanging around with. Because really? When you chill with a load of people on your level, it makes you look like you're at that level. When basically what the person said to me is you should always be aiming higher.
Period.
It was such good advice.
That's called, I can't remember what it's called, so carry on.
That's called, hold on.
Cliffhanger.
So, when it comes, just blurt it out, because otherwise you'll forget. Yeah. But they basically said, they were like, if you're, let's say in my career, you're a senior surveyor right now, they were like, you should be acting like you're an associate. Be hanging around with people who are associates. Like, don't
Yes.
just chill with people who are grads and surveyors, because you stay at that level. And people, because I started at the company as a graduate, they were like, people will continue to perceive you as a graduate.
Yes.
Yeah. It was really good advice. Like, they meant it from the nicest place. And I'm not gonna lie, I calmed down like how much I was hanging out with my age mates. I still love them and hang out with them, but actually it made me deep. I am looking young, and like it was a
Yes.
lot of gossiping. It was like, let's catch up at lunch and gossip, and I like a cheeky gossip, but
Me and you
it's not
both.
always gossip, because you get a name for yourself. It's very easy to get a name for yourself.
No,
Um,
I literally completely agree. And this is something that I've always worked really hard to not be like pigeonholed into I only hang out with analysts, for
yeah,
example, because I want other people to know me. I want upper management
yeah,
to know me. And I truly believe that my relationship with my current manager before she was my manager played a massive role into me being able to do this job. Like if I only hung out with people my in my bracket,
yeah,
should I say, then maybe that wouldn't have happened. Something that my manager always says as well is she's always like, "Oh, message the CEO about this, like let him know about this, include the CFO in this discussion so you're present and you're in their mind because
yeah,
they will it's rare that analysts will go up, and obviously for me it's easier because our company is so small, so that might not be realistic, but as much as you can, she says you need to manage upwards, and it's about you can be a manager and manage down, but you also need to manage up, and
yeah.
that's a really key skill to climbing up the ladder.
110%. I definitely think you should have your allies, but also
Yeah.
management should be your ally.
Well, you should just be friendly with everyone.
I agree.
That's what one of the women at the event, she was like, work hard with a smile, because she was like, you have to be kind as you're going up because you need allyship when you're
110%.
making tough decisions, and you need people to trust you. And that comes from being kind to everyone.
Yeah. Amen. Honestly. And it just makes you feel good. Do you know when you've had a good week, you've been in the office, you've been smiling, you've been having lovely chats with people, it just feels
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I go home and I'm like, I'm a nice person. It doesn't matter if I'm not succeeding. That's what I think, that is literally my biggest value. Knowing that I am a nice person. Like, not even joking, I think that would be top of my list.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I put so much, I think like I care less about what people think of me in that sense.
Hmm.
I just want to know that I've done my best and I've been the nicest I could possibly be.
That's so kind of you.
I know. What's your number one value?
Not that.
Maggie's like, how fat my bank account is.
No, because it's something I rarely think about. So it's something I care about. Like I'd
Yeah.
hate to make anyone feel like shit, but it's something that I really rarely think about. Um, I feel like it's really egotistical, my values. It's like how well I'm doing, like how intelligent do I come across?
I think that's fine. That's what
Yeah,
you pride yourself on. I don't think that's egotistical. You've worked really hard.
yeah, I don't know.
No, I hear that too. I think for me, this is long. Sorry, I'm pivoting. But there's been times in my life where I've been the annoying little sister or the person who didn't, like when I was younger growing up, I found it so hard. I still find it very hard to make friends. But for some reason, I'm just like really good at work, weirdly. Like
Yeah,
getting
but
on with people.
can I say something that I've observed about you? Sorry, what have I spoken?
She's observed
Observed
about you.
about you. Um, since knowing you, is that I feel like every time that I see you in social settings, like in the past couple of years, you shine. Like me and Lucia were actually talking about it because obviously at uni, like you've always been the one to be like, guys, like my sister, I've got my family, like this is like uni, like y'all are cool, but like my family is my number one priority and stuff, which gives off the sense of like that you don't care about friendships kind of thing.
Mm.
But in social settings, like you thrive. Like we were basically saying how it's so funny for someone who friendship isn't their number one priority. You move as if it is.
Do you know
Like
what?
you're really good in social settings.
I've noticed in the last few years that I just genuinely like seeing people smile. So if I'm in a social setting and people are just happy, I'm like, oh, I'm really happy. Like I feel really good.
Yeah.
But the long term, really, really getting to know someone is very tiring. So that's where I draw the line.
That's where your energy goes in that short burst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. I totally took that left. So do you want to do the last one, my dear?
Yes, okay. So someone said, as colleagues, you're part of the same team and working towards the same goal. If I work harder or get better at my job, then that's benefiting them and the team. Same as if they work harder or upskill. I never really get on with people thinking it's a competition because not everyone's good at the same things either, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There's room for everyone to shine. Period.
Preach it. This is exactly what we were saying in terms of like, if I think lack of diversity breeds competition.
A bar.
Because when you have a diverse team, everyone is different, everyone's ideas are different, and you're all bringing a lot to the table. But when you've got people from the same background with the same ideas, obviously they're all going to try and fight to be the best because everyone's the same.
That's actually such a bar and a half.
Thank you. That person inspired me. But yeah, I think that's it. So actually, my team is so diverse, not in terms of the way we look, working on that, but in terms of our backgrounds and where we come from. Mm-hmm. And it really does come through in terms of like skill sets and stuff like that. So, mate, diversity is actually key. 110% is so important.
Yeah, that's really good. I do also think though that there is healthy competition between colleagues where like you're inspired by your colleague because let's say they won a big contract and they've delivered a project really well and you're like, oh my God, like I want to beat that. And I think that's health, but in a healthy way where you're like inspired as opposed to seeing that as a threat. So I do think you can have healthy competition within your colleagues as well.
Yeah, I agree. On that really positive note, guys, thanks for listening to us. I hope you have a fantastic week. Not too hectic, because look at how drained I am. Honestly, I'm actually like just sweating. I'm very dehydrated. Drank too much yesterday. But enough about me. Have a good week. Please. I actually need to, guys, the head needs to get smaller. Have a fantastic week. Please send in your stories, your dilemmas, your mistakes that you've made at work to grownupsthepodcast@gmail.com or
DM us at grownupsthepodcast. Bye.
Thanks.